was very fast between the wickets. It looked as if he would never get there, but he really took off. Seems to be a little bit in the pitch here, judging on the evidence of the first over and a half. And that one too.
Both Paul Rifle and Damien Fleming bowling with the seams perfectly upright here, so the ground could be the best option here.
Down towards fine leg, he's hit that well. That's the first 4 of the innings. Well struck by Jacobs.
Looks like he's just going to lay into anything on leg. Just the man out at deep backward square, and that one's gone about halfway between a conventional fine leg and the man who's out there at deep backward square leg.
Running pretty quickly, but on a dry border that would have gone all the way for 4. Just held up in the outfield. Edged and 4.
Bowlers from both teams will have undoubtedly been briefed before they went out today. Don't let it worry you too much how many runs you go for. Just try as hard as you can to pick up the occasional wicket and keep things tight.
That's a fine shot. 2 boundaries in succession for Campbell.
Whereas during the previous one-day games I've been pretty disappointed I haven't been out there. I think today's a real good day to be sitting up here. Boundaries aren't long. The ball's coming off the bat really quickly, and the wicket looks very, very good to me. So
that is a superb delivery.
Probably a direct result of the moisture that's around the place this morning. That one's really zipped back in. Tom Moody, because he's so tall and does hit the seam on wickets that have a little bit in him, he's really very difficult to face.
That's gone out of the ground. Right out of border. Crowd love that. And no doubt Jacobs does as well.
Damien Fleming wouldn't have wanted that ball back anyway.
Here's Rifle. Cracked away, square on the offside, 4 more. He's very strong on that shot, Sheldon Campbell.
After starting off his spell with that ball that really lifted and cut back into Sheldon Campbell, he's steadily been becoming more and more easy to face. I don't know how you can play cricket up there. I can't even stand the top of a ladder, let alone stand at the top of a stand.
And the over, 49 without loss, 8 overs gone.
And the ball's gone in the pads of Sheldon Campbell, and he must have hit the ball into his pad. He started running. Every player looked for it. They're all saying dead ball, quite rightly so. And Sheldon Campbell was saying, hey, I hit it. And Tom said, you can't run through your pad.
I didn't know, so I did it on purpose.
Well, the rules say that once the ball lodges in the batsman's person, the ball is dead.
And that's going to put a little bit of salt into that proverbial wound. He's starting to say that he shouldn't have been on strike. And now Steve Waugh having a go as well. Tom Moody, and quite rightly so, the Australians have got the law right. On that occasion, the umpires made mistakes. Steve Waugh wanted to get involved with Campbell. And Campbell saying, well, I didn't do it on purpose. And I don't think anybody's accusing Campbell. I think the umpire's the man that's made the mistake.
Now he has joined the army.
Slow ball and lovely shot. That is Carl Hooper at his best, but he's not out there, it's Campbell. Lovely shot, he sat and he waited for the slow ball to get to him. He picked it early and then just slapped it over the offside.
Very strong on the offside, Sharon Campbell, and that was a beautiful shot. Putting through the line, over the top. No fielder in that direction, so no problems in going airborne.
Shane Lee from the Regent Street end. Campbell on strike. 41. And what a catch! So, a brilliant catch by Shane Lee. He's taken a couple in this one-day series. And Campbell is out.
Well, I thought the catch that he took in Grenada to dismiss Shinnerai and Chandra Paul was brilliant. Well, look at this. That is a good catch. That is a good catch.
Held Adams play. And Jacobs just sits away, so he's not play very much longer. So Shane Lee gets 2 wickets and an over. And Jacobs is out.
How many times have we seen this? A good partnership by 2 batsmen. One partner gets out and very shortly after the other goes. Reddy Jacobs just chipping that ball to Steve Waugh in the mid-wicket region. Again, the ball hitting pretty high up on the back.
In strike now. And that's gone away for 4. Very fine right glance. Of course, a big favourite here, as he is in so much of the West Indies. From Guyana, of course. And a very fine deflection.
Well, the man's up in the circle to keep the single down, and he gets that on leg side, and he just gets a little tickle on it, Carl Hooper. That's very intelligent batting.
And that's a very fine deflection too. Very clever shot. Come back for the second. Raising the 100 for the West Indies. After 17 overs, means that 13 remain, and the West Indies are 100 for 2. Long way. Shane Warne did him all over the place, dragged him out, spun the leg right past him, and all Gilchrist had to do was finish the job.
Well, a very big wicket there for Shane Warne. Very good piece of bowling. Hooper is a good player at spin bowling, but he's done him in the air. A lot of time there. Gilchrist gathers it in. No chance for Hooper to get back.
Bowled him beautifully. Superb delivery from Shane Warne. Batsman on the defensive, clean through him, and Australia have taken 4 quick wickets.
Well, another good piece of bowling here of Shane Warne. Just watch this one bounce back inside. Jimmy Adams just playing inside that one. I don't know what he was doing, but we've seen Shane Warne pick him up a few times now, and Warne is very pleased with himself. That's his 2nd wicket now.
And outside edge, no slip, and they'll go towards the boundary. It's a very short boundary down that way, and Shane Lee had no chance. So very handy 4 runs after a couple of tight overs from the Australians. And Chandival will take it anyway. Another slow ball, and circled away beautifully. Great shot by Chandival. And finally, he gets himself a boundary. A very aggressive shot off. Another slow ball from Steve Waugh down leg side.
Right arm finger spinner bowls a slower ball, or right arm finger spinner bowls an off spinner outside leg stump, and big sweep shot, a couple of bounces into the fence.
And that's smacked. And Steve Waugh put his hand up, but the only man who'll get that is the man behind the rope. So nice shot, nice footwork, and hitting through with the turn.
Over pitch there, but you can see him nice and wide on the crease. Good feet by Stuart Campbell. Stuart Williams. And the first time he's really made a confident stroke.
Down leg side, and it goes towards mid-wicket, and that's all the way. Into the fence for 6, over the rope. And a very good shot against the spin. Ball floating down leg side. And another good over for the West Indies. 13 runs from the Shane Warne over. 143 for 4. In the last ball, Williams went down a lovely free swing of the bat. And that's 6. Long way down, Stuart Williams. Crowd really involved now. Lee bowls, slow ball, and quick pass finally for 4. Fleming is inside the circle, and when you have a man inside the circle, you can't bowl anywhere near leg stump.
It's the third ball of the over. Shane Lee trying the slower ball, leg spinner. Over pitching it and beating the man in the circle, Michael Bevan.
To Chandapur. And Chandapur goes over the top and is caught and run off. So disappointment for the crowd here, and disappointment for Chandapur as well, trying to clear long on, and Tom Moody out there. He picked out the tallest man in the field. But somehow Chandapur just didn't seem himself today. He's just come back from a touch of the flu. He was in distress out there, and didn't have the strength to clear the man at long on. So being in good touch, that 9 was a run-out innings, and he's a good strong hitter at the ball. It's a smallish ground, but he doesn't have much time, can't settle in. That's what I mean by that. First ball 6 over extra cover.
That was a lovely strike from Phil Simmons. He hit that and hit that very hard. Extra cover 6. What a shot. Whether those ropes have been brought in to shorten the boundaries or not, that's a 6 on any ground.
He's gone with him again. That's another 6 for Phil Simmons. Now we really have got to wonder why he's coming so late in this innings. One over to go. The West Indies are 168 for 5.
Seeing this one coming down the pitch, thought, well, he's coming to try and meet me, let me try and pitch it short. Well, that also has cleared the boundary.
And he finishes it off with just the 1. So a single to Stuart Williams to finish off the innings, 173 for 5. With Phil Simmons providing the momentum at the end, but really one feels that it could have come so much earlier. Hoisted down towards the boundary for 6. Over the ropes. Short outside the off stump, and Gilchrist going under it. That's a short boundary, shortened even further by the fact the ropes are in.
Just clearing the boundary down there at third man.
That'll be 4. Well, perhaps the one before should have gone there. So very expensive first over. 11 runs coming off at 12 without loss. With Merv Dillon cut away for 6 and now cut away for 4 off the last ball of the over. Didn't concede a single run from his first 3 overs in Port of Spain.
Gilchrist pulls. He's a very good puller, and that is a mid-wicket boundary. Very good shot. Phil Simmons had no chance from square leg, just behind square leg. So bad ball from Walsh. Good shot, Gilchrist.
Not only was that hit firmly, but often the balls off the bat that go square of the wicket are pretty tough to pick up when you're fielding out on the fence. And unless you're in line with them, usually takes you a second to pick them up.
Leg side in the air and out. So Jimmy Adams takes the catch, and Mr. Waugh, you are out.
Similar style dismissal to that of Ridley Jacobs, really. Just coming off the shot a little bit. He's been caught at mid-on by Jimmy Adams. And Australia's 1 for 26.
Bowling! So, Mr. Conning, you are out.
good at this. Likes taking a couple of wickets in a row. And the crowd making every bit as much noise as they did in Trinidad. And a few little interesting actions there too. It's 26 for 2. And Ricky Cunning's on his way.
And Lehman goes for a pull shot. He gets a top edge and one bounce over the third man area for 4. So he's off the mark with a pull shot to third man.
One of the guys manning the side screen there, very nonchalant, sticks the hand up. Ball pops in. He always knew it was going in.
Measures are just away from Chandapal on 4 runs, but short outside the off stump. Gilchrist will give it the kitchen sink out there. So a boundary off the last ball from Hendy Bryan. 40 for 2, 9 overs gone. So here's that last ball of the previous over.
But you don't want to bowl him there, too, do you? Share the ball there, just behind point, but Gilchrist whacks him so hard in that area there, just over the top. Bowler holds his head, but pretty good shot there, really.
Bolden, much too close to him to play the shot. And we've seen Carl Hooper dismiss Australian batsmen in that fashion before during this series. Misjudgment on the part of Lehman. Well bowled by Hooper. 50 for 3.
Well, Hooper just gets him to curve in straight at that off stump. No spin there, just straight on with the arm.
Tremendous hit, a no ball as well. Onto the scoreboard, and that's 7.
Well, that is a big hit from Gilchrist, and I reckon this has just about hit the Australian name on the scoreboard here. Just watch this one. That's how hard he's hit it. Bang. And look at the rebound on that. That's how hard he's hit that. If that board hadn't been there, we'd be still looking for it.
Well, he's certainly getting runs off every part of the bat. That's the second under edge pass the keeper has gone for 4. So that's the end of an expensive over, but an over in which the wicket of Lehman fell. It's 62 for 3. Didn't at all get hold of it. They've gone for 1. They'll come for a second. And he hit the stumps. Brilliant piece of work from Nehemiah Perry, the substitute. It's Hendy Bryan, in fact, from the deep. A brilliant piece of work. Uprooting the stumps. We'll wait for the replay from the television third umpire. Adam Gilchrist waits anxiously.
Needed to be a direct hit. Hendy Bryan needs to be a direct hit, and this is going to be very, very close. Gilchrist trying to make ground, and I'm afraid that is out.
And Waugh goes his favourite shot. Simmons is there, but so is 6. So good hit by Steve Waugh again. And he's played that shot in the last couple of years, and he played it well today. Placed it not very high, but it went for 6.
That's a good shot. It's not a very easy shot to play because Carl Hooper isn't actually spinning the ball. He's looking to push the ball across the right-hander. Well, 10 on naught. Look what happened after.
In the air and slapped to mid-off. That's 4. Very aggressive shot off Phil Simmons. No mid-off. And Steve Waugh placed it beautifully, even though it was in the air for a while.
Hit it straight. That was the important factor. Courtney Walsh is the man at mid-off, and he was a bit wide. Just hitting straight through the line.
Slaps it to short cover and a misfield by Campbell. No catch, goes towards the fence, and it may go all the way. It does. So bad misfield, cost the West Indies 4 runs.
Sharon Cameron there looking to feel the ball and throw instead of just fielding it. Absolutely no chance of him running anyone out if the ball was hit that powerfully.
And he goes this time, and that is 6. And a good catch by the young man in the red and the blue. Give the man a fluffy teddy bear. It was a good over, 112 for 4. That's the penalty that Arthurton's always going to pay if he bowls around the wicket of Steve Waugh and and lands just a fraction short of a half volley. And Michael Bevan has smashed that with the fence. And Phil Simmons starting the over with a boundary. That's not good news for the West Indies.
A bit too short there, Phil Simmons. As I said before, he hasn't really been bowling with a lot of variety in this spell so far. Phil Simmons, we saw quite a bit of variety from him earlier on. Lots of slow deliveries, lots of off-cutters. That's it.
That is variety at its best. No variety, and then suddenly, Mr. Bevan, you are out.
A much fuller delivery, this one from Phil Simmons, right up and right through the gate. And isn't he happy?
Well, if you don't get behind them and the ball gets a little bit low, you pay the penalty, and Mr. Lee, you are out.
Well, whatever Steve Waugh said to Shane Lee didn't quite work. Phil Simmons again. Not giving too much opportunity to get some runs when he came out to bat. Only 11 balls were left, but certainly doing the job with the ball. 116 for 6.
In the air, and the catch in the outfield, and taken. Henry Byrne having a tremendous day here for the West Indies. And Tom Moody goes cheaply again.
Well, Dylan's done the job again. Brought on to take the extra wicket, keep the runs down, and that's exactly what he's done. This is not a pretty shot from Tom Moody. Caught in no man's land there, and just spooned a simple catch there.
Well, that's a mighty slap. And it's gone for 4. What a shot that was.
Well, Pete Sampras will be happy with this one. This is more like an overhead smash. Down he comes. Gets to the net. And down the forehand side of the court. All the way for 4.
Clever shot. Well played. Go all the way. That boundary is short. He was down the track, beaten, and then adjusted and guided it down towards third man. Cleverly played.
Well, just as well he got a bit of bat on that. He would have been stumped by a long way. Warne knew that.
What are you doing there, Hooksy?
Well, I thought I'd get an advantage point out here without paying my money. I lost my pass to get in, Tony, when I went out before, and they won't let me in. But this is a great view, straight down about mid-off, over mid-off's head, long-on's head, and I can see the entire field, and it is a great sight. Everybody here is in a festive mood. Shane Warne on strike, and wouldn't they love him out?
At the square side of the ground on the onside. It's got 2 men probably 30 metres apart. Just see one on the left, one on the right there in the picture.
That's it. That's the shot I've been talking about. Bending at the knee, and it's gone for 6. That's a big one. It brings up his 50, and what a way to bring up his 50.
Well, you can't put him there, can you, Tony? Not on the roof or up the top stand there. That's a very good hit from Waugh. He's a big hitter, Steve Waugh. You see him hit a lot of shots along the ground, but when he decides to put him in the air, that has gone a mile, and that's hard as well. Just watch this one disappear into that stand. Laying into the top shelf there.
That's a big one. 4 runs. He's hit that very hard. This is a very expensive over from Carl Hooper. Australia now accelerating. Hooper asked how many balls to go. There are 2 left.
Well, he's just absolutely belted the case off that one.
In the air, down towards third man. That'll go for 4 more. Off the edge. No. A tremendous spurt by Australia in this over through their captain. He's hit 14 off the last 4 deliveries. Reduce the equation, 18 off 13 balls.
Well, all of a sudden that looks a lot better, doesn't it? You've got to have a little luck along the way. Waugh hasn't had too much luck in these one-day games, and here it is, right when they need it. Will it last?
In the air, and that's gone over the top of 6. So Australia's 8th wicket pair here doing it now. Just another 14 required, in fact another 10 required with that 6 as it ticks on to 164 for 7.
Well, if you're going to hit them in the air, you may as well pick the shortest boundary on the ground, and that's exactly what Warne's done, and it's just gone over his head there.
Take the run and be satisfied with the run. I don't know where the crowd's coming onto the field. They think the match is over. There's no question that it isn't. There's a real invasion of the ground here now, and they've snatched the stumps out of the ground. They've gone away with them. There's a lad who's got one moving across towards the boundary. There's another one who snatched a stump, and this is absolute chaos here. The security forces were not prepared for this in any way. In fact, they were in front of the members' pavilion. The stumps have gone. It's getting dark here already at Border. They invaded the ground thinking the match was over. It wasn't, and the security forces were kept absolutely unawares. One of the stumps has been retrieved. There are no stumps down at this end. 2 have been retrieved, and I think they've got all 3 now. Some youngsters came onto the ground and snatched the stumps out of the middle, and the police were over in front of the members' stand, and in fact the mounted police were dismounted at the time. They were not prepared for it, as they should have been. We've had this problem before in the Caribbean over and over, not least here at Border. Return comes to the bowler's end, and he drops it. Hard return, high to the left. Sherwin Campbell and Stuart Williams running towards the ball. Williams finally picking it up, and a fast return but wide, and his fellow musician couldn't pull it in. Absolute sensation. Now the faces are smiling. Now there is optimism. 4 balls, 4 runs off the last ball. This is a sensational last over from Keith Arthurton. The crowd's besides itself. Everything hinges on this. The series is level at 2-all. Here's the last ball. In the air, he doesn't get it. They've gone for 1, they'll come for 2. There's an invasion, and the return comes in. Madness here at Border. Absolute chaos. Someone's going to get injured out there. They're harassing the players. This is dangerous now for the players in the middle. Somebody snatched a bat. The police are out there surrounding Steve Waugh. He's been jostled and pushed. He's in the middle. The West Indies have won an extraordinary match by 1 run. 4 runs needed off the last ball. But who is to say what the match referee, Raman Subba Row, will determine this time? The last time we had similar scenes here in a one-day international in 1993, West Indies against Pakistan. The West Indies needed 2 runs to win off the last ball. There was an invasion of the ground. They got the runs only because Wasim Akram at the bowler's stumps dropped the ball, put off, in the opinion of the match referee, who on that occasion also was Raman Subba Row, and he decided the match was a tie.